Mary Lou Jaquin. My nickname is Pixie. No one calls me Mary Lou. And I'm from Peoria, Illinois.
And how did you get started as an artist? Was there a person or event that inspired you?
Oh, absolutely. I was in the 3rd grade. My art teacher held up my squirrel as an example of excellence, and I decided right then and there this was it.
How does the place you're from or the community that you're from influence your work?
Well, I grew up in Chicago, and I was pretty close to the University of Chicago campus in Hyde Park, and there were just multiple facilities and a lot of opportunity to explore the fine arts.
Okay. How do your life experiences, whether personal or professional, find their way into your artwork?
Well, I think more than anything I'm a memory painter, and I spend a lot of time going back over instances and portions of my life, and I believe that all art is a narrative. It's all a story, and I see things through my own lens. You might look at the same subject and see it through your own lens and your own experience, and your artwork might be totally different than mine. And so basically I'm a storyteller, a visual storyteller.
Do you have a personal philosophy that's reflected in your artwork?
I'm always in flux. I change from day to day. I do think that my faith plays a great part in how I feel about the world around me. And if a religious image is not somewhere in my work, it's usually in the essence of the work. It generally feels spiritual.
So you said you grew up around Chicago area, so would you be like Catholic? Is that what it was? Or
Catholic.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And what's the most important tool or material for creating your art? Is there something you can't live without when you're in your studio? Your hands and your eyes. Can you walk me through the process of how you create a piece?
Generally, an idea might come to me, and I might explore it in several different mediums. I might paint it, I might draw it. I don't generally engage in thumbnail sketches to work from. Sometimes if I don't have an idea in the front of my mind, I'll just begin by doing some abstract doodling, and something will grow out of that. It'll become a rhythm, a movement. It will suggest other things to me, and I just generally go with the flow. And sometimes these turn out to be the basis for a series. It gets me to thinking about it, and the more I think about it, the more I have to do it.
So folk art often involves repurposed or unconventional materials. What types of materials do you use, and why do you choose them?
I usually choose something rustic, something that is handmade to begin with, or something that has enough age on it that it shows the effects of time and wear, much as a person does. And these items take on their own personality, and some of them are just treasures.
Is there a specific time of day that you prefer to create?
I'm a morning person. I get up in the morning and I think about it a while. I say my prayers and I start. I never know what I'm going to start doing because I was an art teacher for 34 years. And as that goes, you have to be a little smarter than the kids you teach. And you have to know something about everything you're asked to teach. And so it just happened that I liked it all. I felt that same spirit of creativity, of making something out of something as fleeting as an idea. And that to me is a real motivational factor.
How did you become involved with Finster Fest in Paradise Garden?
Well, I was doing an advanced degree and I declared outsider art and folk art as my area of research. And that was back when you had to go to the library and get the microfiche out. And I found out that if I checked on the local newspapers of major southern cities, there would be some human interest story in the third section. And I would find out where these people were. And then I would contact them and arrange to meet them, or just take a road trip. And I found them very welcoming. And as it turned out, as I would take up their time and interview, I also felt it almost imperative to buy a piece of their artwork. I was taking their time and they deserved something for that. So I would come home with something, but it was always my stuff. And where I was passionate about it, I had no one else to talk to in my town because nobody was talking about outsider art or folk art. And so I would say about 10 years ago, my local regional museum contacted me, and they had heard that I had a lot of folk art. And so they were mounting an exhibit, and so I loaned them 200 pieces of my stuff. And I never thought of it as a collection until they took it into the museum and did the proper lighting and the proper labeling, and then it became a collection. I wanted to take my furniture and just move in there. And so that was up for about 3 months, and I think it was probably one of the highlights of my life because I created something in a body of work that I could share with the community, and that's really important to me.
Yeah. What does the art and legacy of Howard Finster mean to you? Did he influence your work?
He did, very much so. I had interviewed him. He was very sickly at the time. In fact, he was dying. He was in and out of the hospital. And I was visiting with his daughter Beverly at the gift shop. And she kept putting off this interview I wanted to do. And finally she called me one day, and I was up in Peoria. And she said, my father is coming out of the hospital in the next couple of days. And if you can get down here, I'll let you see him. And so we went with that, and I zoomed down here, and I visited with him at his home. And his wife Pauline made chocolate cake and Coca-Cola, because he did a lot of work for Coca-Cola. And we were all diabetic, but we all enjoyed it. And we visited probably for about an hour, and then he announced, me and Pauline, we're just sitting here waiting for Jesus. And then he promptly fell asleep. So I decided the interview was over, it was time to go. And so he called me every so often and invited me down to do this show when he was still alive. So I did that for about 5 years, and then took a couple years off after his death. And then somebody started the show again, and I think this is the 20th year that they've done it, and I've been here every year.
And how does the spirit of Howard Finster's art, including his spiritual themes and religious themes and use of language, resonate with your own work?
Well, I think he was a very unique individual, and I liked his method. It is almost childlike, naive, if you will, about he'll write texts to explain his artwork. And I particularly enjoy when you get to the end of a sentence or the end of a line, he breaks the word right in the middle and then continue it on the next line. Can you hold that just a minute? If you'd like to come in, you can come in. We're back.
Okay. And what's been your most memorable experience at Finster Fest?
Selling out. That's always a good feeling. And you to have nothing to pack up except in your tent.
Yeah. Is there a particular piece in your display that you're most proud of, and can you tell me why?
Well, each one of them is my favorite piece while I'm doing it. And when I'm finished with it, it's done. I've produced it. I can sell it without feeling. It's not like selling my puppies. And so I think that the way I think about it, I share my work more than I sell it.
Are there any hidden meanings or messages within your artwork?
There are probably some buried symbols here and there, and I don't have hidden messages. Sometimes I'll take and make the picture so obvious that you would really be somewhat deficient if you couldn't get my message. But I don't think I hide things from people.
Is there any particular colors or shapes or subjects that you prefer to work with?
There's nothing that's taboo. No.
Okay. What's the biggest challenge you face as an artist?
Well, I can't say the fear of being a starving artist because I've never really been one. And I think the thing that I worry about mostly is departing this world and having one of my children pull a dumpster up in the driveway.
What does the word artist mean to you?
Maker of things.
And how do you feel folk art is important to society today?
Folk art is extremely important because it's our roots. Everyone started somewhere. Michelangelo started somewhere. He was probably an outsider artist when he started. And then he was recognized for his ability and he was set off to apprentice to somebody. And he became what he is today. And I really think that everybody starts out in their own path. And no one has confidence when they start out, but they are pleased with their engagement. It's not so much about the product you complete, it's about the time that you spent in the creation of that piece. It's being fully engaged in something to where you lose sense of time or your appointments. So yeah.
You think God felt that way when he created the universe?
Yeah, he had to rest, didn't he?
Indeed. Do you have any advice for aspiring folk artists?
Just do it. Just do it. I think that aspiring folk artists have to work very hard at what they do. They can't be of the feeling that, oh, this is kind of naive and kind of not too academically correct. I can just slop anything down. I can just make something. I think in the early days of eBay, you had a lot of that. You had wonderful outsider artists and folk artists who were represented in that category. And then people kind of decided, oh look, that looks like a child did that. I could do that. And they just slap something out and put a price on it and hopefully get $10 or $20. And I imagine some of them made a little bit of money at it. But it's not honest. It's not honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking advantage of a genre you know nothing about.
Yeah. If Howard Finster were here today, what do you think he'd add to the garden next?
Oh my goodness. At least 3 more shows a year.
Yeah. Any particular piece of art you can imagine him wanting to do?
I think it would probably be sculptural. I think he would weld together some bicycles again. He'd probably build another mirror house. He was truly a maker of things. Something from nothing. People would drop off junk to him. This was a swampland some years ago. And he reclaimed it. And he worked on his bicycles. He worked on televisions. He did all kinds of things to piece together a living. And when he received his vision to tell him paint religious or to paint sacred art, as he called it, I think that he just became a different person. He felt that he could reach maybe 50 to 100 people in his little church where he preached, but he could reach the world if he would paint them anything that they liked and wrote scripture on the back of it.
Yeah. What's the best advice you've ever received from a stranger at a festival? From
a stranger. Well, I've got some good ideas for themes for pieces of work. That aside, people ask me silly questions like, did you do all of this? There's such variety, and I explain that I have multiple personalities. Or they ask if I have done album covers in the 70s, and it's, you never know who you're going to meet, and each person you meet is their own riddle.
Mm-hmm. If your day at Finster Fest had a theme song, what would it be?
A theme song?
Yep.
Now that's a hard one.
What comes to mind?
I am thinking about a Beatles song. Something Lord. My sweet Lord.
Yeah, that George Harrison song?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
Yeah. Well, how can people find you or your art? Do you have an online presence at all?
No, I don't, because I get too much in the way of... It's hard to go through all the messages you get. I'm associated with galleries at home, and I deal mainly through them.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. You're a beautiful person and beautiful art, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Pixie.
Thank you.